Morning, everyone. It's Sunday, June the 23rd, 2024. Currently in Grand Junction, Colorado, which is where 2 weeks ago today I was getting off the California Zephyr, having come from San Francisco. In that 2 weeks, thanks to a couple of friends of mine, I've had the absolute best time on one of the best steam railways in the world, which is the Durango and Silverton Narrow Gauge Railroad. And if you haven't seen that video yet of my time there, you may want to have a look at it, or you can have a look at this highlights reel right now. Pretty cool stuff, hey? Anyway, I've timed this trip well because yesterday, June the 22nd, there was a landslide north of Needleton, which has blocked the line beyond there, so no trains are going to Silverton at the moment. So, yeah, I'm thinking of the guys at the DNS and G at the moment, and hopefully they can get Silverton trains running again as soon as they can. Anyway, the California Zephyr. So we did Donner Pass on the first day. Absolutely spectacular. But there's a section of railroad that's even more spectacular, and that's what we're going to do today. Back in the 1920s, the only route that the Rio Grande had across the Rocky Mountains was known as Tennessee Pass. It was very long, and you had to go south to Pueblo first before going west to Utah. However, in the 1920s, the actual date of when it opened is right here, the Moffat Route was opened. Much shorter, a direct route from Denver through to Salt Lake City. However, the grades are ridiculous on this line. So join us for part 2 of the California Zephyr along the Moffat Route over the Rocky Mountains. Hope you enjoy. So anyway, I'm in the Hampton Inn here in Grand Junction, and the railway station is not as close as it was at Emeryville, but it is like over there. So overnight there were quite a few freight trains, but the amount of traffic is not that huge freight-wise. Yeah, the only trains I saw run through were overnight. So, yeah. Anyway, nice little room, very comfortable bed, and mirror is gigantic, but anyway. So yeah, I'm going to go get some breakfast and we'll head over to the station. It is just before, hang on. It is just before 7:30 and the train is currently half an hour late. But it is still saying that it's supposed to be departing here on time. It's currently still in Utah. Departure time is just before 10 a.m. So I've still got about 2.5 hours before I have to be, before the train leaves. So I've got about 2 hours before I have to be at the railway station. So yeah, breakfast time. So I just checked out of the Hampton Inn and I'm now walking over to the train station. I'm probably going to be about an hour or so early, but I like being early at train stations because then I don't have to rush. So, just extra peace of mind. So, let's head over there. Today's run will take us across the entire state of Colorado, from Grand Junction across to the eastern part of the state and its border with Nebraska, going across the Rocky Mountains. The first portion of the run is from Grand Junction to Glenwood Springs, following the Colorado River. Our two P42 locomotives are quite special on this run, with locomotives 160 and 174. We'll see why a bit later. Alright, so welcome to my roomette, which is right behind the locomotives compared to the last trip. So, and we've got a heritage unit on the front, which is really cool, number 160, which is the phase 3 -8. Yeah, so I won't do another room tour because we did that on the first trip. So, but yeah, one thing to note though, this isn't one of the updated cars. That's okay, no worries with that. Oh well, we've got 10 minutes here and then we'll be out of here. So the engineer on the Amtrak engine just blew the horn to get everyone back on board, and we'll be out of here in a second. So here we go, part 2 of the California Zephyr.
Station tags are above your seats. Now mark your seat for the duration of the trip. Let us know where you're going to. The restrooms are located downstairs in every coach. Restrooms downstairs in every coach car.
I find it interesting there's 3 platforms here
every stop.
for 2 trains a day.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, traveling in coach, we do have a sold-out train today. Most every seat is going to be occupied. So if you're a single person, please make sure the seat is open next and available to you. Appreciate it. We may have to ask a couple of you people to move together so we can get our families and our couples together. Don't really like doing that, but they like to sit together, and if you're in their place, I'm sure you'd appreciate if someone would. So please don't be offended if I ask you to buddy up with somebody. At the center of every coach car by the stairs, got a copy of our schedule posted with all the fresh air smoke break stops highlighted for the entire journey. Now sit back, relax, and welcome aboard the California Zephyr.
Yeah. All right, folks, you heard from your lovely train attendant, Tim. One of your conductors, Cody, here with you, along with conductor Chris. We just hopped on here at Grand Junction with 2 new locomotive engineers. We'll take you all the way through the high desert in the Rocky Mountains to the mile-high city of Denver. Gone over quite a bit of information already, so we'll just knock down the highlights. Safety pamphlet in that seat back pocket, look that over. This is a family-friendly train, appropriate language and conversation at all times. We do ask that you stay with your children. Children to us here on Amtrak are going to be any children 12 years or younger. Please stay with those kids up and down the stairs and from one car to the next. And you must have proper footwear on when walking from one car to another. Crocs are applicable. Cover up your toes. All right, folks, them's the rules. You got a lovely onboard service crew out of Chicago. Conductor Chris, conductor Cody. Welcome aboard train number 6, the California Zephyr. Thank you for your attention.
I think they need a few more locos stored here. That's colossal. A few new ones, a lot of oldies.
Oh, the locomotive I was reacting to was a former Chicago Northwestern Dash 9, now in storage at the Grand Junction yard, along with a few hundred other locomotives.
Is that another one? Yeah, wow. Oh no, it's a UP one.
I've got a coal train sitting there too. Alright, so I'm on board the California Zephyr. We're just leaving Grand Junction, going through the massive rail yard here. Well, it's not massive, but there's at least 50 locos stored here. That was insane. So this is widely regarded as the most scenic train on Amtrak. And that's for a very good reason, because as I was saying this earlier, this is the Moffat Route. It's one of the most spectacular pieces of track in the world. So while the DNS is good, and it's probably the most spectacular narrow gauge line, this is the most spectacular standard gauge line. And I reckon when we get to Denver, I'll make a vote on which one is better out of the two. I'll like that. So, yeah. "10 miles to the east of Grand Junction is the first canyon that we go through on today's run, Debeek Canyon. It is approximately 15 miles long and is located on the river downstream from the town of Debeek in eastern Mesa County. We've just arrived into the spa town of Glenwood Springs, our first fresh air stop of the day.
We're at Glenwood Springs. I'm just going to have a look at these locos. This one's in the new Phase 7 paint. This one is a heritage unit. Yeah. That's so cool. My first heritage unit. Phase 7 looks good on them. Alright, I better get back on board.
So Glenwood Springs, Colorado is a hot springs town. So makes it very popular during, well, all times of the year. So a lot of passengers get on and off here on this train, and no exception today. And
Alright,
we're
folks,
just
just
about to
boarding here. Glenwood Springs, put your tags above your seat by your seat numbers. That'll mark your seat for the duration. Let us know where you're going to. Restrooms are downstairs in every car. We load our car by destination. Every car opens every stop. Lounge car, observation cars forward the coaches. Please make sure you have your tags above your seat numbers.
We're just leaving now.
Both dining car, lounge car open serving. Dining car serves complete meal service only.
Oh, that's right. I need to go get
It's
lunch.
$25 here in coach. It's forward lounge car behind the sleepers, and the snack bars downstairs in lounge car. Between here and our next station stop of Granby, we follow the Colorado River, go through 4 beautiful canyons. Starting off with Glenwood Canyon. As we work our way through Glenwood Canyon, it's Interstate 70 across the river from us. Then later on, we'll go through
Departing Glenwood Springs, we run right along the river through Glenwood Canyon to Dot Zero. The line through Tennessee Pass junctions off here, the majority of which closed in 1997. From here, we head north through the Colorado River Valley to Bond. The Glenwood Springs sub ends here, and the Moffat Tunnel subdivision begins. Continuing north, we run through the spectacular Gore Canyon to Kremling. Hot Sulphur Springs is the beginning of the last of the 4 canyons, this one being Byers Canyon, before finally arriving at the first station in 2 hours at Granby. However, a much more important thing came up just after we departed Glenwood Springs, and that was the first sitting for lunch.
Alright, folks, making our way to the beautiful Glenwood Canyon. Following the Colorado River on your left-hand side of travel. Folks, you're in luck. Some of the best views are from the train. Also have a good view of the highway as well. Folks, heads up, if you need to use cell phone service, you have it now until Dot Zero. Once we pass through Dot Zero and go underneath I-70, you will lose it for about 2 hours. Until we get to a place called right now. We're going 15 miles an hour. We just have some heat restrictions when it gets hot out.
So sit back and enjoy as we head through these stunning canyons over the next couple of hours of the trip. That's right, yeah. One big sledgehammer.
It's like a bricklayer. Yeah, it's just.
Gotta be.
Alright, so I'm back in my roomette now after a lovely lunch and going through all of Glenwood Canyon in the dining car and meeting some lovely people again as usual. Still can't see the engines.
We had a couple of pack trail was used in the early days as a part of the country service, and later on by surveyors of the railroad. And more recently, it's just been made a recreational trail. In fact, we've had a couple of our conductors out in Denver. I think even Conductor Cody's walked that trail a couple of times. And once again, folks, this is the lower gorge.
Far out. This is insane. Oh.
All right, folks, we got a bear. Left-hand side of travel.
Come on.
Was climbing the pole.
Absolutely brilliant trip so far. Man, some of those canyons. Whew. So we're just approaching our next station after Granby, which was a few hours ago. So we should be in Granby in a couple of minutes, and it's a very short stop. And then the next one, which is Fraser, Winter Park, is our next stop. So yeah, fantastic trip so far. The Rowing Museum, that's cool.
Colorado River, here, and our next stop at Winter Park.
Westside Lumber Company Shea, that's cool.
We're going to follow the Fraser River.
Number 8.
Fraser River,
So we've just arrived into Winter Park, Fraser, which, from memory, is the western, which is right near the western portal of the world famous Moffat Tunnel. So I'm going to keep an eye out, and hopefully that's next. It is the highest crossing of the Rocky Mountains in the US. This trip, man, incredible. Really is. Just incredible. We were indeed just a few miles north of Moffat Tunnel, a 6.2 mile long tunnel the Rio Grande built in 1927 to get the route through the Continental Divide at an elevation of 9,239 feet, or 2,816 metres above sea level. It was built to replace the insanely dangerous line over Rollins Pass, which had been built in 1902, and the summit of which was 11,000 feet. The tunnel is named after David Moffat, who was the brainchild of this insane line, but sadly never saw it completed as he had died in 1911, over a decade before construction of the tunnel even began.
All right, folks. Water Conductors Cody back here with you. Winter Park Ski Resort on our right. Not doing much skiing there. A little bit of mountain biking though today. That's a good indication that we're coming up on our next point of interest, the world famous Moffat Tunnel. 6.2 miles of darkness and joy. Here we go, folks. Once we're inside the tunnel, and you'll know it, it'll get really dark. Stay within your train car for the next 10 minutes. Do not pass from one car to the next. Keep those indoors closed. This is the world famous Moffat Tunnel. Stay in your car.
Taking something off my bucket list. This is awesome. Alright, I'll see you in 10 minutes.
Alright folks, this is the world famous Moffat Tunnel.
We have now exited the tunnel, and it was now time to head downgrade for the 50-mile run to the state capital of Denver, best known as the Mile High City.
Alright folks, you may notice we're now outside that Moffat Tunnel. You are free to move about. Thank you for participating. Keeping those indoors closed. Folks, looking about a around 6:45 arrival into Denver. Once again, we have some slow restrictions ahead. Coming down the hill. We'll keep you posted if anything does change. But once again, around 6:45 arrival.
Attention, ladies and gentlemen, this is Killer Dining Car Stewart. At this time, I'm calling for all 5 o'clock dinner reservations. If you are holding a 5 o'clock dinner reservation, please make your way to the diner at this time. Upon entering the diner, please wait for a member of our staff to seat you. Once again, 5 o'clock dinner reservations, and please wait for a member of our staff to seat you.
Ooh, BNSF. One of the other engineering achievements of the Moffat Route is the Big Ten Curve, a large series of S-curves looping on themselves to gain elevation up the front range of the Rockies. The name Big Ten is not because the curves are 10 miles long, which they aren't by the way, but because the radius of the curves are 10 degrees. These old coal hoppers sitting beside the line and filled with gravel were placed here in the 1970s to protect trains from being blown over in the high winds at this location, which have very often gusted at more than 100 miles an hour. Here we go, 2 CP units and a BNSF loco. My first foreign power. A lot of firsts today. So we're just approaching, well, we're going through the Denver suburbs now, but just got an announcement that my dinner is ready, so I'll be back in a bit.
My wife like rebuilding a bunch of stuff. I don't know. Maybe. It's like all old. That's like all old. I'm still amazed at like how much
Speed restrictions between Winter Park and Denver meant we didn't arrive into Denver until 7:04 p.m, 37 minutes behind schedule. So I just finished dinner, met 2 lovely guys who'd come all the way from Emeryville where I started back 2 weeks ago. Denver is the longest stop on the entire run. We're here for about 45 minutes or so. So just got some fresh air, talked to my awesome sleeping car attendant. He's a really nice guy. And we'll be out of here soon. The next state will be Nebraska at about later than that. Sometime tonight. And then we'll be waking up probably in Iowa. I can't believe I just said that because I've always wanted to go to the Midwest and it's happening tomorrow. Oh, this trip is making me so happy. Oh, it's fantastic. Alright, anyway, we'll be out of here in a second. In the meantime, I'm going to have my dessert and I'm going to watch a movie or 2. As we depart the Denver suburbs, let's see where we are heading overnight towards our destination of Chicago. After departing Denver and Rio Grande Western Territory in the Denver suburbs, we are now on BNSF trackage, formerly the main line of the Chicago, Burlington and Quincy, as we head east into Nebraska, with stops at Fort Morgan, Colorado, McCook, Holdridge, Hastings and Lincoln, Nebraska. See you in the morning. Good morning from Omaha, Nebraska. It's currently 5:43 a.m. on Monday, June the 24th. We're going to be stopped here for a couple of minutes before crossing into our next state of Iowa. Overnight, we went through the entire length of Nebraska, stopping at. I know we definitely stopped at Lincoln, but I can't remember what the other station was that we stopped at in Nebraska. There was a couple in Colorado too. Very much struggled to sleep last night, so I'm pretty stuffed at the moment. But anyway, yeah, the reason I've woken up and gotten the camera out is because I know for a fact that if we go the right way, we might be able to see a big boy. I can't confirm it though. So we'll see how we go. Anyway, enjoy the day. It's going to be going from here in Omaha. We're probably going to be going to sleep somewhere in Indiana. So enjoy. Probably seeing out 2 heritage units that are on this thing. There we go, my first big boy. And a DD-40. Fuck yeah. Sorry, excuse the French. Where are they? There they are. The world's best welcome sign. After running south for a short distance south of Omaha, we cross the Missouri River and start heading east through the state of Iowa, stopping at Creston, Osceola, Ottumwa, Mount Pleasant, and then finally reaching Burlington by the middle of the day. We then cross the Mississippi River into Illinois and continue to Galesburg, arriving there in the early afternoon. So we're between, we're outside of Ottumwa, Iowa. And the majority of the run since I was last talking to you has been field, which isn't bad, but I figured you don't want about 6 hours of this, so there'll be brief snippets, but nowhere near as much as before. So yeah, slowing down for something. I think track work. It was just a works train before, so it must be that. Beautiful piece of the world along here. I don't know why, but I've always liked the flatlands of the Midwest, and now actually being here, it's pretty cool. Oh, we're just going over a crossover, that's what it was. So,
and ladies and gentlemen, we are 20 minutes away from Ottumwa, Iowa.
Oh, it's close.
Our station stop at Ottumwa.
Just leaving Ottumwa, Iowa now. Got one more fresh air stop in Galesburg, Illinois, which is on the BNSF Transcon. A bit of an interesting experience when I got off the train. There's a bloke who was obviously on something, was going absolutely AWOL at one of the conductors, so I feel sorry for the employee, but anyway, not much you can do. It was pretty funny, I will admit. Oh well, 5 hours from Chicago. There we go. So our conductor just made an announcement that our next station is Mount Pleasant, Iowa, which is home to the Old Threshers reunion, which happens over the Labor Day long weekend here in Mount Pleasant, and has since 1960. It's basically like, it's the American version of Lake Goldsmith or the Great Dawson Steam Fair. Except these guys have got a 3-foot gauge railway that goes around the perimeter of the showgrounds. And they've got a little 260 and a Shay that both run there. I've been a fan of the railway for years, and it's definitely a place I really want to go to. So yeah, Mount Pleasant, next stop. That's one thing I was going to mention. On the first segment of my California Zephyr trip, the sleepers were right at the back, and on this bit of it, they're right at the front. They're actually always supposed to be at the front, and what happened was, when the Zephyr came in the night before I got on the train back in Emeryville 2 weeks ago, they didn't actually turn it the night before because they were 4
Attention,
hours
ladies
late.
and gentlemen, this is Carol, your dining car steward. At this time, the dining car is open and serving lunch.
At
Lunch
10:30.
is on a first-come, first-served basis. Upon entering the diner, please wait for a member of our staff to seat you. Also, ladies and gentlemen, this will be my first, last, and only call for lunch. So if you'd like to have lunch with us today, please make your way to the diner at this time. Once again, dining car open and serving. First come, first serve, and please wait for a member of our staff to seat you.
Get on with it. There we go. Sorry. Yeah, so the night before at Emeryville, the number 5 going from Chicago to Emeryville arrived 4 hours late. They obviously didn't have time to turn the whole thing around because the locos were back to back and the train was the wrong way around and confused the hell out of everyone, myself included. It meant though that the shots for going up there were brilliant because you can see the entire train, and it's really hard now because the locos are right in front of me, so you have to find like the really sharp bends, like yesterday when we were going over Moffat. But it's not too bad because the scenery's alright, and I've actually been doing more relaxing than filming today. So yeah. Anyway, we're just leaving Mount Pleasant now.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, again leaving.
This is a
Mount
place I'll
Pleasant,
definitely
Iowa.
be back to
Our
when I
next
come back
scheduled
over
station
here.
Stop 30 minutes from now.
I have
will
to
be
time it for when
Burlington,
Precious is
Iowa,
on.
Burlington, our next scheduled station stop.
There was a rail fan back there that obviously found out that we've got some proper power today, with 160 and 174 still on the head end as far as I know. They certainly weren't when we were stopped at Ottumwa, so they probably have to be. Yeah. I'm really, really enjoying the Amtrak trips. Although I am looking forward to continuing on from the Zephyr. I have had enough of that. Now this is what I think of America. Magnificent. approaching Galesburg, so I'm going to get some fresh air. We've only got 5 minutes here, but that's okay. But I may as well check it out. My favourite scenery, flat farmland. Love it. Another rail fan out to see the heritage unit. That's cool. So as you saw, there was a Pacific on display in Galesburg. I totally forgot that was here. Big engine too, huge boiler. But yeah, next stop is Princeton, Illinois, and then Naperville, and then Chicago. So we're not that far to go. It's currently 12:30, and we should be getting there at about 3 o'clock. So I'm going to go get some lunch from the cafe car because the dining car is closed. So, yes. Stop Naperville. Now in Amtrak territory. More rail fans out to see this thing. Chicago suburbs, although now they say that we've got some bushes. We're going along what is known as the racetrack, which is a triple track main line that goes out of Chicago through to Aurora. It's called the racetrack because a lot of the Metro commuter trains during the peak time run side by side when they're going out. So, and it looks really cool. There's a place called Downers Grove, which is a very popular spot on the racetrack, and I'm assuming, considering we've got a heritage unit on this thing.
This time the upstairs lounge car is closed as well. You're free to return back to your seats or sleeping car accommodations.
Yes, I know we're nearly there. I'll go closer.
Thank you for your patronage.
because we've got the Heritage Unit on the front, I'm assuming there'll be tons of gunsels there. So we'll see.
Thank you for patronage.
I think they need more engines. Arriving into Chicago. I can't believe I'm actually here. This is awesome. So I've just checked into the Metropolitan Lounge here in the Chicago Union Station after a big trip. Yeah, bloody excellent. I'm quite impressed, especially this photo here. I had about a relaxing 2 hours before my next train, the Capital Limited to Washington DC, was due to depart at 5:40 p.m. But at about 3:30 p.m, everything changed. But stay tuned for that, as that will be in the next episode.